Meet Williams, a single dad pouring his heart into raising his 6-year-old daughter Charlotte. Life hasn't been kind to them. When Charlotte was just a baby, Williams' wife Ava vanished without a trace. No calls, no letters, just silence. Can you imagine the pain of losing someone you love with no answers? Williams never stopped searching, but hope faded over time. Bills stacked up, jobs slipped away, yet through it all, Charlotte was his reason to keep going. One chilly December evening, Williams scraped together his last few dollars to take Charlotte to a local diner. It wasn't much, just a warm meal to see her smile. They sat in a booth by the window, Charlotte's little legs swinging under the table, her eyes sparkling as she waited for her grilled cheese. Have you ever had a moment where a small treat felt like the biggest gift? While they waited, Charlotte's gaze wandered around the diner. Her eyes locked onto a woman sitting alone in the far corner. She was elegant. Tailored coat, silk scarf, completely absorbed in her tablet. Something about her captivated Charlotte. She stared, wide-eyed, as if she'd seen a ghost. "Daddy," she whispered, tugging Willem's sleeve. "That lady, she looks like Mommy." What would you do if your child said something like that? Willems froze. Charlotte had imagined her mom and strangers before, but this time, her voice trembled with certainty. Before he could stop her, Charlotte slid out of the booth and darted across the diner. Willems's heart raced. He stood but didn't follow right away. Was it curiosity? Fear? Have you ever been stuck in a moment, unsure whether to act or wait? Charlotte stood quietly by the woman's table. The woman looked up, surprised. "Hello, sweetie. Are you lost?" she asked kindly. Charlotte stared into her eyes and whispered, "Mom?" The diner fell silent. The woman's hand shook as she set down her tablet. Her eyes, eerily similar to Charlotte's, widened. Slowly, she reached out, tucking a strand of Charlotte's hair behind her ear. "Char," she gasped, her voice breaking. Willems finally walked over, his face a mix of confusion and disbelief. The woman stood, tears streaming down her cheeks. "Willems," she said softly. His eyes widened. "Ava?" It was her, the wife he'd mourned for years, standing right there. Can you imagine reuniting with someone you thought you'd lost forever? Through sobs, Ava shared her story. After a devastating car accident, she'd lost her memory and was taken in by a wealthy couple in another state. For years, she lived as Helen, a successful philanthropist with no memory of her past life. Only recently had flashes of memory started to return. She'd come to this town, drawn by a gut feeling, and ended up at this very diner. What brought them back together wasn't a detective or years of searching. It was Charlotte's pure, unwavering belief in love. Have you ever witnessed a child's intuition change everything? That night, they sat together for hours, talking, crying, holding each other like time had stopped just for them. A week later, a sleek car pulled up to Willems's modest apartment. Ava stepped out, determined not to lose her family again. She invited Willems and Charlotte to start a new life with her. That single moment, Charlotte running to a stranger and whispering, "Mom," changed everything. Sometimes life has a way of bringing people back when we least expect it. It's not always logic, it's love, innocence, and perfect timing. This story reminds us that even in our darkest moments, hope can shine through in the most unexpected ways. What's a moment in your life where hope surprised you? Share it in the comments. I'd love to hear your stories. And if this touched your heart, hit that like button and subscribe for more stories that remind us to keep believing.